Hello, everybody, and welcome to the season finale of the Apple Box Chronicles. My name is Peyton Buto,
And I'm Adryon Thomas.
and today on the ABCs, we are taking you from A to Z on our best films of 2025, our favorite films of 2025.
That we've seen.
That we've seen,
Yeah.
obviously. Just looking back on the year in film, and for the podcast, given that this is our season one finale. So this is a little looser as an episode, but basically, we're just going to talk about our favorite movies from this year, our favorite theater experiences a little bit. We're going to talk about some goals for season 2, and that's about it.
Yeah, should be nice, short, not too long.
Yeah.
We say that, and then it's like 2 hours long.
Well, I don't. It doesn't matter too much if it's that long. It's just, we don't really have a lot written down because we're not spoiling our lists for each other.
Yeah.
So we're just kind of gonna go with it and see what happens. Let's first briefly talk about this year in movies and what that meant for you. What about you?
I mean, this year has been and I've said this in several other episodes that this is the greatest year in movies that I've probably lived through.
I agree.
Sure, there've obviously been other years in which we've had like great bangers like throughout the year, but this is the first year in which like almost every movie that I've gone to was a great experience. It either met my expectations or went beyond it. Even movies that I thought were like fine, they were a lot better than I thought they were going to be. So it was hard for both of us, I guess, to make this list because there was just so many great movies that came out this year. It was difficult to even rank them.
It's also difficult because there are movies that are going to be on other people's lists that I don't feel as strongly about, and I'm like jealous of them for that. I want to include it higher on my list just to be, there's this instinct to like want to be part of something and be like, no, but this movie is great, and I agree that it's great, but like it's just
not
it just doesn't feel
personally
honest. Yeah. So there are certain movies like that which
sure
we'll definitely mention, but I also do think to a degree that your assessment of the year does have to do with the fact that it's been a busy year, and there are a few movies that you missed that you wanted to see. So there are maybe certain movies where you wouldn't have been as high on them as other people that you would have maybe been a little let down by and would have changed your perspective on the year. But I think because you were so busy, you kind of kept to your priorities, and therefore everything was kind of like, but everything you wanted to see that badly, like, kind of lived up. For the most part.
Yeah, and I'm sure there, like you said, there's probably movies that I probably would have wanted to see and could have not lived up to what I expected it to be. But again, that who's to say? I haven't seen every movie this year.
Yeah.
We do have. Why don't we? Well, we'll do this. We'll do the would-be's first. This is kind of like a list of movies that I did not see, but I feel like if I had seen them, they would be either be in my honorable mentions or my best of.
Yeah.
And those movies are Sorry Baby. I've heard just so many great things about it, and I still really need to watch it. I want to see it pretty badly, but that's making the rounds as one of the great movies of the year that I just haven't seen. The two Richard Linklater movies, Blue Moon and
Nouvelle Vague.
Yeah, Nouvelle Vague. Linklater, one of my favorite directors. These two movies haven't really been put out. Wasn't like put out to a lot of theaters, so I wasn't really able to watch them in theaters. I think they're on
one of them on Netflix.
So I'll probably watch that at some point pretty soon. But I hear great things for both of them, and from what I've heard from my friends, they've said that I would love those movies. Another one, Jay Kelly. I don't know. It's not a huge movie that a lot of people have been talking about, but it is Noah Baumbach, which I am a pretty big fan of, and it just looks like the type of movie that I'd really like. If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. Great reception about how good Rose Byrne is in it, and it's very much like in the vein of the Safdie brothers and Ronald Bronstein's type of movies, and so I'd probably really like it. I'd probably really hate the experience of watching that movie, but I'd give it its flowers in saying that it's probably one of the better movies out. Materialist, I know that's a polarizing one, but I feel like that's one that I would veer more to the positive side of what people have been saying. And The Phoenician Scheme. I still haven't seen that one. That's a big one. I do love Wes Anderson, but that just kind of slipped under the radar for me. And from what I've seen of the movie, it looks really fun. So those movies I'll probably see at some point, but I haven't seen yet, and they later down the line, if I do an update on the list, they might show up on there.
Yeah, for me, I only have 3 because I think I saw like most of the stuff, and I could be not thinking of one, but I think I saw most of the stuff I really wanted to see this year.
Yeah.
I kind of like, it was like a mission, like really. I did not see Is This Thing On, the Bradley Cooper movie. I actually saw Nouvelle Vague instead of that on the day, and I kind of regret it because I could have seen Nouvelle Vague.
But I mean,
on Netflix.
that movie's not widely released yet. Like...
No, it comes out January 8th here, but it's already in like New York and LA, I think.
That doesn't care. Like I feel like these movies like are out.
Well, yes,
but
out. I had a chance to see it. Like,
yeah.
Objectively, like I had a chance to see it at Austin Film Festival. I chose to go to Nouvelle Vague instead to see Richard Linklater in person, which was very cool. But like, it's Austin, Texas. I would have had another opportunity to do that at some point. But obviously, I'm gonna have another opportunity to see Is This Thing On as well. So I thought maybe I could catch it before the end of the year some other way. Didn't get to. So that just can't be considered. The other one, it came out early in the year, and I just missed it. The Ballad of Wallace Island. I heard it was really good. I never watched it. I really wanted to, because it kind of looks like my kind of movie. I love movies like the John Carney movies, like Sing Street and Once, and what was it, Flora and Son? I think the one with Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
I think so.
I like that one okay, but the other movies from him, Once, Sing Street, so good. Begin Again, so good. And so it looks like kind of maybe that kind of movie, but also a little different. And I just think I would have loved it. I just have an intuition that probably would have been a little high on my list. And then the last one is Lurker, which neither of us ever caught. It's a movie about like social media and stalking and stuff like that. And I spent a lot of time on social media, obviously, so I kind of am interested to see what that movie's all about and how crazy it is, maybe. And I just think it's one of the movies that's been hit or miss for a lot of people, and usually those are interesting to me. So those are 3 movies that I could kind of think of that I missed. I'm sure there's more.
I mean,
but most of the ones I didn't see, I heard were just okay. So I didn't really, and it didn't really seem like I was gonna like them. But yeah. This was a year where I actually like I usually am like really, really good about seeing everything, but I missed some stuff this year, and I just kind of let it happen, which is fine.
Yeah.
But yeah,
you can't see everything.
No, you literally can never see everything. But otherwise, honorable mentions for you.
I have a pretty strong list here, in no particular order. I'll just go down the line. It's kind of a mix of everything in here. We got The Long Walk. It was really good. K-Pop Demon Hunters, a lot better than I thought it would be. Just missed that. Caught Stealing. Thought that was really fun and cool. Very different for Aronofsky. Dogman came out earlier this year.
Love Dogman.
Dogman's great. Bad Guys 2, another animated movie. That was like super good. Way better than I thought it would be. Splitsville, really good, really funny. Twinless just kind of came out of nowhere. That just kind of blew my mind for a second. One of Them Days, another great comedy.
Love that movie.
Naked Gun, so funny. So that was like one of the best times just laughing in the theater. Mission Impossible: Final Reckoning.
Overhated.
Overhated. It's a good Mission Impossible movie. Frankenstein. Love Frankenstein. Love Guillermo. Just didn't reach to that level. Then we have Mickey 17. I loved Mickey 17. It was in the top rankings for a very long time, but I had to push that one out.
That one's been getting kind of forgotten, and I feel like
it shouldn't
we need
be.
to reassess.
It's really good. It's Bong Joon-ho.
It was fantastic.
Killer of Killers, the Predator movie, anthology, I guess. So cool. The action and all that. It's so cool. One of the coolest movies. One of the coolest animated movies of this year. Black Bag. That just barely missed it. That's like at 16. Just barely missed it. Big fan of it. I still really want to rewatch it too. I haven't seen it since it came out that time. And then the big one, the big upset, Sinners. It's not going to be in the top 15, unfortunately.
Oh yeah, we should probably mention this is going to be our top 15.
Yeah,
I think we just said best. 15 is the number we're going with.
Yeah, that was our cutoff. Sinners, again, great movie. Unfortunate that it's not going to be in the top, because I know a lot of people say it's like their favorite movie of the year, and a lot of people say it's like their top favorite movie of the year, but unfortunately it wasn't a personal favorite of mine. I do recognize all the greatness that it is. It's just not like a movie that I would probably revisit as much, and I don't know, I just like a few other movies better.
Yeah, fair enough. That's all your honorable mentions you want to mention?
Yep. That's all.
Okay, mine are a fucking mess. I'm literally gonna name like so many movies right now. I'm gonna name I think 15 movies.
Yeah.
And this is not even all that I'm leaving some out, because it's like that. The thing is, I love most stuff. It's a problem. I actually have so many. Okay, so starting with the ones that would be in my top 20 to 30 area, Blue Moon.
Mm-hmm.
Black Bag, The Woman in the Yard.
Yeah, well, I thought that would be
The Woman in the Yard is in my number 18. Predator, Badlands.
Okay.
Superman, Highest to Lowest. Avatar, Fire and Ash.
Wow.
Materialists, Bring Her Back. Roofman, Black Phone 2. If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. Splitsville, Frankenstein, Eternity. Presence, Drop. The Bad Guys 2. The Long Walk, Weapons. That's my big upset, is Weapons. Mickey 17. The Day the Earth Blew Up, the Looney Tunes movie.
Oh, that would be in my honorable mentions too. I think I just skipped past that.
Ballerina, the John Wick movie. Yeah. The Shrouds, Surratt, and that leaves us at 40. And there's so many that I would have mentioned otherwise. But I think I will stop there.
Yeah. There was a lot of ones that I thought was gonna make your list,
but
there's a lot of ones in there that made my list.
Yeah, I know, but there's things under that, Phoenician Scheme, Elio, J. Kelly, Die My Love, Running Man, Caught Stealing, all tons of movies that K-pop Demon Hunters. Just at a certain point, I just struggle to rank these things.
Yeah.
You know, The Naked Gun, I would also like to mention that that is down there as well, and I really wish I could put it higher, but it's just hard when there's so many great movies. Also, I do want to give a quick mention to Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie, which is not out in the U.S. until February, so I can't include it, but that would definitely be in my list if I was including it based on its Canadian release, which is, I think it's already out in Canada.
Yeah.
So, that's it.
Man, there were some in there that I thought was gonna make your list for sure.
I was surprised that you weren't as surprised at The Woman in the Yard, because I kind of just was the other day looking at everything, and I was like, no, that is one of my favorite movies this year, because it's very it's very personal to me, but also it's very Shyamalan-esque as well, and it's got incredible I think the visual identity of that film is really good. I think Wame Collet-Serra is actually such a great director of these kind of just studio movies that, you know, get put out, like Carry On. Like, he's really able to deliver solid work on that scale, that and give it some flair and give it some identity, and that I feel like that movie just has so much humanity to it, and the way that it's like,
he's a good concept director.
Yeah, the struggles of being a single mother in that film, and the kind of like, I guess, the darkness of that being so literally manifested is great. I think it's incredibly disrespected, that movie. People say it's offensive, and I'm not gonna, you know, knock anyone for saying that if they feel that way about the way it depicts mental health, but I don't know. In my experience, it felt very, very like empathetic and human. So yeah. That's a special one. Anyway, I guess this is our time to get into the list. Which one do you want to go first? So we're gonna go back and forth. We're gonna do like one film at a time.
You go first.
I'll go first. Yeah. Okay, my number 15 film is Begonia.
Okay.
Begonia, again, kind of like The Woman in the Yard, where it's like contained concept. It's a little bigger than that movie, and it's got Yorgos, and it's got Jesse Plemons and Emma Stone, and just crushing it. And I love the look of the movie with the VistaVision. Mm-hmm. It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
And I just love the ride it takes you on. The first time I saw it was amazing. The second time I saw it was a little bit of a different experience. It was like funnier because I knew where everything was going to go.
Yeah.
But I think it just has this great balance of humor with some very, very sad subject matter that's very relevant. And I actually think if we had not done an episode on Begonia, I don't think it would be on my list. But after doing our Begonia episode, I started to really appreciate the movie more just through the conversations that we had about it.
Yeah, a lot of these movies that are going to be on here, like, I feel like our episodes have really made me think more on them, and given me more of a reason why I like them more.
And I believe that is what's so great about what we're doing, is that, you know, there's a lot of movies that have so much in them and so much untapped quality that people don't see because they're not willing to take the time to, you know, really process and discuss them.
Yeah.
And you can't do that with every movie because there's just not enough time in the world to do that.
Yeah.
But it is great when we are able to target a film like that and you know, just have that appreciation kind of grow.
Yeah.
And really, really try to see what the filmmaker's going for. It almost makes you appreciate just about everything we've talked about.
Yeah.
And really, like, it's like I can't even, like, yes, Weapons is not on my list, but it could be, like, tomorrow if I watched it again, because it's just that there's so much quality in this year, and everything we talked about, it just kind of made it a little better in my mind.
Yeah.
I think, for the most part.
Yeah. All right, mine is Warfare.
Okay.
Yeah. The movie's just like, I think it's great because, like any war movie should be, it's also very anti-war. Yes. And it just shows the absolute devastation of what war does to people. Even as small as that movie is technically in, like, its location. And how they're just pinned down and they're just constantly getting fucked. And I think it just it showcases this is what warfare is. There is no winning. Like, no matter what you do, there's no winning. Whose side you are, it doesn't matter. It's like, it's a lose-lose situation every single time. And I think it just kind of portrays that pretty honestly, and really, like, I think a lot of people could complain and say that it is jingoistic, and it's like showcasing, like, we're on the American side, but it's only just that point of view. We're just on that point of view of the American side, and it showcases that not everybody, like, people are just there. This was like post 9/11, and you were just in the military to kind of do that.
I'll never understand the propaganda complaint that gets thrown at that.
Yeah,
I feel like
it's very anti-war. It's showcasing all of these men just going through the worst, like, thing that could happen in that situation.
Yeah.
And it's not
not
making
even saying that that's because of the other side explicitly. It's really just saying because this is what war is like.
Yeah. And so I think the criticism of it being like either propaganda or being apolitical is, I think, kind of not. You're not really looking at what the movie's trying to showcase.
I mean, one of the directors is one of the guys. You can't. I don't feel like he's gonna be like, no, let's show that because this was awesome. No, I think that's the only reason that this is what they're depicting in the film, and so it's not this specific thing that they plucked out just to propagate something. It's because it's a real experience.
And that's my 15th one.
All right, well that's around like Dogman level for me. Like it's in there, but it's I didn't mention it in my honorable mentions. My number 14 is Sorry Baby, because I think Ava Victor is honestly pretty brilliant. There are so many great shots in this movie that are like inspired by paintings as well that I didn't even know about when I saw it. But the tonal balance in this movie might be the best tonal balancing I've seen in a film all year, because it is about something so awful and traumatic, but the movie is so funny, not in the like we're making light of it kind of way, but it just in the way that like human beings can be inherently funny, just as a way of naturally covering up their sadness and their pain. And I don't know how this was pulled off so well, but it really is something like it feels like you're watching like an anomaly in the tone happening that I think is so impressive. And I love that Lucas Hedges is back in a movie. Naomi Ackie is so good in it. Obviously, Ava Victor is amazing in it as the lead. I also have a friend, Liz Bishop, who's in the movie as in a small scene in there. So, just one of the most exciting debuts of the whole year, and I think it deserves all the praise that it gets.
I still need to see it.
And I did think
it's the big one that I just really want to see that I just still haven't seen.
I actually did give this one a 5 out of 5. So that's my 14.
Cool. Mine is highest to lowest. It didn't
feel bad that it didn't make my list.
So the reason why it's here is more on the basis of what it is, and that it's a Spike Lee movie and what Spike Lee's trying to do. I don't think it's a perfect film. I do think there's flaws in it for sure, but the way Spike Lee directs a movie, and the way Denzel Washington acts in this movie, and every choice that the movie makes just feels right for Spike Lee and for Denzel.
If it's not perfect, it's interesting.
Yeah, and for the story, and the music's great. Honestly, I know a lot of people have problems with like maybe the tonal shifts or even the pacing of the movie, but I think it's very purposeful, and I think I like that. I like a movie that kind of goes against the grain and is utilizing a lot of that tonal like weirdness to portray what's actually happening emotionally in the film. And I think the movie's ballsy and brilliant for doing some of the stuff that it does.
I agree. I mean, damn, you're making me like rethink it. I'm like, I need to throw that in there. But it's in like the 20 spot for me right now. It's up there, and it's so good. Like, truly, it's so good, and it just gets better as it's going. I remember we saw this together, but we were in, like, different rows in the theater. We couldn't sit together, and then we just regrouped, and we both were just kind of like, that was amazing.
Yeah.
And I was so glad we both agreed on that, because it's such a weird movie, honestly.
Yeah.
It's a very weird movie, and people didn't really... I think people's body rejected this one just because of that weirdness and the way that it has that incredibly pervasive musical score in the first act that people think is on accident. It really is not. It's supposed to feel cheesy and corny and like soapy, and then it kind of, and then we get to lowest and it becomes different. And I think that it's it's very purposeful, like you said. It's great. I love that movie so much. God. What a shame that this year has been so good and there's so many. Okay, my number 13 film is Hamnet.
Okay.
Because Hamnet, I think is an important reminder about how necessary art is to us, how necessary it is that human creativity is to us. You know, in a time where I feel like a lot of powerful people are undervaluing it, and it's really, really kind of scary.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of people that are, whether they're conscious of this or not, basically admitting through the things that they open themselves up to, that we've somehow hit a wall and that we're just done. Like, you know, if we were to really supplant this stuff with, like, AI, for example, that would essentially force us to hit a wall creatively as a species. And then because all it is regurgitation of what we've already made, right? And so if we stop making, then we're never going to get anything new ever. But that's not how humans work. We have new experiences all the time. We all have at least one unique experience in our lives that we have to share with the world, and that's why creativity matters. So that's why I think Hamnet is one of the best films of the year, because it just kind of shows that in the most simple way. And I think using Shakespeare and one of the most popular pieces of work ever in Hamlet, and kind of almost demystifying Hamlet and turning it into this individual thing that's for one person or for two people to understand and experience together, to understand each other's methods of grieving, and then for everyone else experiencing that piece of work to kind of, even if they don't even realize it, to kind of feel that emotion vicariously. I just think it has one of the best, like, climaxes ever in a movie this year, and it's just, I saw it 3 times and it just kind of goes by each time. I also just have such a physical reaction to a lot of scenes in this movie. I get full goosebumps multiple times, all 3 times I saw it. Yeah. So yeah, I love Hamnet. I think I don't have a problem with it at all.
Yeah,
a single critique of it.
Great movie. My 13th is Marty Supreme. Just came out, just saw it.
Okay.
I'm sure you'll have it higher on your list, but I thought it was great. It's like Josh Safdie is the one with the sauce, I guess.
I don't think that's necessarily true.
I think pitting the brothers against each other isn't necessarily right. But if you are looking for a movie that's a continuation from their previous stuff, this is the movie, as opposed to, like, The Smashing Machine. Yeah, it's a really fun and bizarre movie, and it's really, like, I just go out and look at other people's review of this movie, and it's probably the same as mine. It's like, the movie's great. Like, it's undeniable in its pursuit of greatness, and what Marty's pursuit is, and how awful of a person he is. And I think it's interesting that people have very different takes on both who Marty is as a person, as well as whether or not he deserved the ending that he gets. That being said, hot take from me is that I do think Uncut Gems is still slightly better.
I don't even know if that'll be a hot take once the recency bias has
yeah. I just think
they're pretty equally beloved.
Yeah, and I think they're both great. They're pretty neck and neck, but I just think Uncut Gems is just a little tighter. This movie, I did feel the length, but that being said, it's still, like, fun throughout, and you're just like, you're like, what's gonna happen? What kind of nonsense is gonna go on right now? Who's gonna get fucked over? And it's just kind of a fun kind of ride to go on with this terrible person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, my number 12 film, and now, God, talking about Hamnet, I was like, oh, that should be higher.
Yeah.
I had it so high for so long, and when I was reorganizing, it ended up this low, and I was just like, whoa. My brain is just in a different mode every time I look at this list. Anyway, number 12 is Twinless.
Oh, okay.
Because Twinless, it's, like, just so surprising.
It truly was a huge surprise this year.
Really, like, I think the performances from Dylan O'Brien and James Sweeney, the colorful production design, the way that the film is edited and shot is
some of the
brilliant.
cinematography is incredible.
Yeah, the use of split screen in that party scene in particular is one of the most brilliant uses of split screen I've ever seen. I can't even describe it with words what they do in that. You just have to see it. And I think the story is so it's kind of like Sorry Baby in the way that it has this impressive balance of comedy and kind of darkness, because there is something kind of morbid that happens in the movie, and what the story you're following is actually rather dark and fucked up, but at the same time you're kind of understanding all of the different, I guess, avenues that loneliness can take you on. And I just think that it's such a entertaining film from start to finish for that reason, that I really just can't wait to see it again, because I think that might solidify whether it's a little higher or lower on the list. But I do want to give it its flowers, because I really came out of that movie thinking it was a straight up masterpiece, and it's one of the most original stories of the year told. Like, this is incredibly original. There's not another movie exactly like Twinless that's exploring these kinds of emotions in this way. It's just an absolutely insane idea, and it's executed perfectly.
I mean, earlier
you should go in blind if you haven't seen it.
Earlier on this year when I saw it, it was in my top like 10 or 15 in the list, but it just, as the year went by, it just kind of went down a little bit. But it's still great movie. All right, my number 12 is Friendship. This, for a while, this was like at the very top. This is like near like top 3 for like a very long time. But Friendship, so funny, and also so. It's very deep as well. It's like extremely critical of our society and how we view relationships, as well as addiction to like our phones and to people and to social media. And I think it's a lot smarter than people give it credit, because I mean, you kind of go in thinking, oh, it's a Tim Robinson comedy. It's just being stupid to be stupid. It's not. It's stupid for a reason, and it's like it's kind of a mirror to a lot of people, but they refuse to see themselves in this character.
And I think the movie is an incredible satire on, kind of like you were getting at, the consumerist culture. The reason I'm getting into it right now is because that is my number 11. So
nice.
We're right on track. Everything you said, I echo that, and I think that the performances are hilarious. The jokes are great. It really doesn't have a single bit that I think doesn't work or doesn't need to be in it. But yeah, it really is just this great kind of bizarre critique on consumerism and the male loneliness thing, and how self-inflicted it can be, and how how we kind of view relationships as products too, and we're all kind of becoming a little narcissistic because of the way that our society is built now. And how just all the consumerism in this movie. You got the Subway, the Red Bull, the fucking I forget the name of the guy's bar, but the bar with the SEAL Team 6 meal, the new van, and then you contrast that with the flower shop, something natural, something that requires nurturing and patience, and that's how we should view relationships, but we don't. We're trying to speed run them. We're trying to, we're worried about how being friends with other people makes us look, instead of actually nurturing a connection with people, and just our obsession with perception and all that stuff. So that's my number 11 as well.
It's brilliant. My number 11 is Hamnet.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a little higher on my list, but pretty much the same reasons you liked it. I thought I think it's themes in love being kind of all omnipresent and like everlasting, and sometimes when you love someone so much, it's obvious that like everybody knows you're not going to have them forever, and sometimes tragedy happens, and so you could transform love into kind of these tragic stories, but that also means that there was love to begin with, and that it could transcend. It could transcend that moment, and you could use it and put it into art and make it more than just for yourself or for the people uh, that you know, but with art you could spread it to everybody, and everybody could see and understand and love as well within that one tragic moment.
Or they could just call it propaganda when you make warfare.
Yeah, yeah, Hamnet, great film, very sad movie. You're just kind of going through it with these characters, but it's also it's a very loving movie, and it's great.
Yeah. My number 10, kicking off our top 10s, is No Other Choice.
Oh, well, that's my number 10 too.
Okay. No Other Choice. Park Chan-wook, master of the craft. The dissolves in this movie, the transitions are so brilliant, so well done. I think the movie, my friend Brian said it was like a page turner, and I completely agree. I think this movie just kind of flows, and it just continues to transform, and you just like can't believe what's happening, and you want to see what's happening next. And I think it just makes it kind of fly by. And yeah, I just love the visual style Park Chan-wook brings to his movies, especially these newer ones like Decision to Leave and No Other Choice. He's really bringing an experience that you truly do not get with any other filmmaker, in the way that he combines, this family drama with this thriller, with this comedy kind of satire, like very slapstick, kind of nightmare movie. And it's just so fun from start to finish. It's like, there's a scene with like really, really loud music playing that's like the funniest fucking scene in the world. It's so good. The way that he's just able to layer chaos on top of itself, and constantly create something new. But then it also, he's very honest with the emotions too. Like, he kind of lets the characters really do feel human, even though they're doing some pretty bad shit.
Yeah, I think its critique on capitalism is like one of the best.
Oh, absolutely.
Of not just this year, but of all time. Like, it's so brutal and so biting, and yet also so very funny and unfortunate. And it's very like, in our reality and in our world, we are going towards that type of like mindset in people, where we're fighting each other for a position that's slowly going to be eradicated anyway through technology and AI.
Yeah, we're literally fighting each other to be the one guy that goes and checks on the robots.
Yeah.
And that's it.
And I think that's more of the reason why it's in my top, I guess, 10 at this moment, because it's just so current, and so the satire's too real.
It doesn't even let up in the end credits, because the end credits, you're seeing these machines chop down trees, and then that creates the names for the credits that are printed on the paper created from the trees. So it's a critique on how we treat the environment as well. I mean, it's got a lot of stuff to say, and it's packaged in one of the most just enjoyable movies of the year still.
Yeah. And it's based off of a book by an American. And it kind of translated through South Korea.
South Korea just knows how to like make the point, and it with such grace. I mean, Lee Byung-hun as well, amazing performance from him.
Yeah.
He actually was in K-pop Demon Hunters.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's great.
The head demon guy. Yeah.
Great South Korean actor.
All right, well,
it's technically your turn now.
I guess, yeah, because 10. Yeah. My number 9 is Train Dreams.
One that I haven't seen.
Was that on your...
It wasn't. I guess I kind of skipped through. I didn't really notice it, but I am sure that's a movie that if I watched, I would probably really like as well.
I think you would. This movie, I saw it. I was grateful enough to, or lucky enough to see it in a theater, with about, like, I don't know, like 500 to 1,000 people in the Paramount here in Austin, and it was just like an incredible experience because it's the kind of movie you watch and you're like, my whole life has led me to watching this movie right here in this moment, and everything matters and everything is connected, and it's like such a beautiful just feeling of clarity you get at the end of this movie. And the film is incredibly, it's not slow and boring, even though it's just about a logger in early 20th century America.
I'm interested in the movie because it's by the same guys that did Sing Sing, and Sing Sing is very like contained, like it's literally a prison movie, and this is more expansive in that sense. So
yeah, I mean,
I'm interested to see like how that writing kind of translates.
It's more expansive, but it is focused on one guy, so it is still technically contained, I would say. But you have other actors popping up in this, like William H. Macy and Carrie Condon, just weaving in and out of the story.
I didn't know William H. Macy was in it.
Oh, he's one of the best parts. He's hilarious. And I just think, once again, like, the tone of the movie, like, the cinematography is so beautiful, and the nature is so gorgeous, and the things that are happening can be tragic and romantic, and it never really forces a reaction from you. It's really just it's very I guess what people would call manipulative. Like, it's not that. It's very hands-off, kind of like letting you feel it the way that you feel it. And so I feel like the movie is just incredibly open in that way, and the DP is so good, and he's going to shoot M. Night's next movie, and it's going to be the best looking movie of all time.
Who's the DP?
I'm just kidding. I don't know his name. I don't remember his name, but it's one of the... Here, I'll look at it right now. It's one of the most beautiful movies of the year, visually speaking. DP's name is Adolfo Veloso.
Huh.
Yeah, kind of up and coming.
What have they done before?
A movie called Jockey, which is also directed by Clint Bentley. And other than that, basically, cool. I think other than that, like, only they've only worked. They've never shot a movie in America, I don't think.
Okay.
Besides that, I don't know where Train Dreams was shot, but I'm pretty sure M. Night told my audience at the Q&A when I was watching him that that DP for Remain has never shot in America before Remain, because they shot that in Rhode Island. So I don't know.
Cool.
Anyway, Train Dreams. Yeah, amazing.
My number 9 is Wake Up Dead Man.
Okay.
Ryan Johnson. I knew it was going to be good, but it was just so much better than I thought it was going to be, especially in terms of what the themes it was going for, and how relevant it is today. And just how fun the movie is, and how fun the writing is for the characters are. Like, it's just a really fun movie to watch.
That's it.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about it before.
Yeah, we have an episode on that one. Something we don't have an episode on is my number 8, which is Sinners.
The one that didn't make my list.
Sinners, I think, was the first sign that we'd be getting all-timers in 2025. I think it still has the magic. We recently saw this driving from Austin to Dallas, 3 hours there, 3 hours back in the same day. We watched Sinners and One Battle After Another, back to back. It was amazing. I think Sinners has one of the best scenes of the year that everyone talks about, with the musical seance and all the spirits, and that's really awesome, and I listen to the score all the time. But I think I think this is another movie kind of like Hamnet, where the movie is able to show the power of art so well, and the way that this movie embodies the culture of what it's talking about, and it shows like the real monsters that we know, and then it uses fictional monsters to show the monsters that might not be as obvious. To, I guess, a lot of people watching the movie. But I think it's just exciting. Like, when you watch this movie, I think it's just infectious. Like, I just get excited at so many of the things Ryan Coogler is doing with the filmmaking. There's a transition, I've talked about this before, from Remick to, like, The Moonlight, that I literally, like, the first time I saw it, I just cried. Because I was so excited about to be watching this movie, because I've always liked Ryan Coogler a lot.
Yeah.
Creed has always been, like, my favorite sports movie, period.
Yeah.
And I just knew he was going to deliver with this. I knew
Yeah, I know.
from the very beginning that this was going to be so incredible. And then hearing all the buzz and finally seeing it and it living up to that, it's just so exciting. And I think it's the best horror movie of the year because it's the most kind of complete, and it's scary, and it's also a little romantic, and it's very sincere and powerful in the way that it kind of explores, again, like Hamnet. There is the humanity behind the things we create are important. I guess the temporariness of it is important,
yeah.
as well as so it's like this difference between the culture being alive and being passed on and evolving and changing, and trying to keep the culture forever by freezing it in place, So there's, I guess, a clear distinction there. That's made.
No, I think the movie is great. I think what Ryan Coogler's doing with the form is super cool, and the way I explained it to you and our friends when we watched it was that Ryan Coogler is like our generation's Spielberg, and we all know Spielberg's my favorite director. But this is like to me, this is almost like his Indiana Jones, whereas like Creed was like his Jaws, is the one that really broke through and showed everybody who he was, and like Black Panther was kind of like his Close Encounters and his and his kind of showcasing like what he really is capable of and everything. And so and this is kind of like another, like, this is really like him proving himself to be like one of the great big blockbuster guys of our time.
Yeah.
And I think, like Indiana Jones, it's super fun, it's super great, it's kind of harking back to a genre that people aren't really seeing as much these days. Like, I guess vampires is always going to be a big genre, but the type of like period movie vampire kind of thing going on, we just, like, he's really bringing something with that, with the whole cultural appropriation stuff, and the, like, all the themes are great. But like Indiana Jones, I feel like, or Steven Spielberg, I feel like he's gonna get better and better, and there's gonna be a day where he's gonna make like one of the great movies of all time that's gonna like win all the Oscars and everything.
To a lot of people, this is that movie.
I understand that and I see that, but I know that this is just the beginning. This is
absolutely.
This is just the start. Like, as fun and as great and as excited people are about this movie, and they should be, he's got more. He's got more juice in there, and he's gonna prove it down the line. And I know that I think that's why this isn't in my top, and I think this is why this isn't, for me, considered like as highly regarded as a lot of people do today. And because I know that there's more to Ryan Coogler than just like this movie. Like, there's like, this is, to me, feels like only a portion of what he's capable of doing, and what he can do in the future. And I do, like, again, I feel like I need to like constantly explain and like apologize for like not having this higher in my list.
Okay, that's how I feel about Weapons.
But I just know that this isn't like the thing that's gonna like make Ryan Coogler like considered one of the great, like, he already is, honestly, at this moment considered one of the great directors of our time, really just based on how many people just love this movie and like his previous IP movies. But I truly believe that he's gonna do things that are beyond what people are even thinking about right now.
Well, I think what you're saying actually does apply to, I guess, what I was saying about the film, because, hold on, I don't know what's happening right there.
Yeah, I get, my throat's kind of itchy too for some reason, even though we just got
There's
over.
something in there. I think what you're saying does kind of apply to what I was saying about the film too, because like you know, he's going to continue to evolve his craft, and he's going to continue to make more movies instead of it doesn't stop here.
Yeah.
Right. There's always going to be more. And so like what you're saying about him being this generation's Spielberg, like, yeah, he's in, this is his moment, and he's in the conversation with all of the great filmmakers.
We haven't seen his Saving Private Ryan or his like Schindler's List, or is like the one that's really gonna like be that big movie for him. Like, this is like, and everybody loves Indiana Jones. Like, this is like that. This is like, everybody loves this movie and everybody regards it, but it's not like the one that people are gonna like. It's gonna get nominated for Oscars for sure.
Yeah.
He'll probably even win some, but it's not gonna be the one that gets him that, like, the big ones, like
Maybe
directing not. Or picture.
But I want to say that I think when you look at Spielberg, even,
yeah,
you wouldn't take Spielberg and like want to freeze him in the era of the Indiana Jones and what he was making back then, because Spielberg now he's developing into new territory, and he's still doing things that are different based on how he's aged as a person and a filmmaker. Ryan Coogler is going to do the same thing. All great directors are going to do that. You know, that's why we have the phrase like, oh, this is late stage Scorsese or whatever. Like, I just think that that's kind of what the movie is talking about a little bit, is like the idea of the fact that this that art and culture is like so powerful that, you know, you're in conversation with a vast history and a vast future ahead of you, but you're always moving, and the vampires are kind of like trying to assimilate in the sense that they're kind of holding it hostage.
Yeah.
That's why you can't invite him in. That's why you can't invite him in. But I think I'm not like Sinner's #1 of the year or anything, but I do think that was a huge movie this year that really kind of kicked things off, and is still so exciting to return to, and I do love it very, very much, and so I think it deserves to be that high. But that said, what's your number 8?
Oh, my number 8 is Begonia. You had that down the line, but I think this movie, and I think the reason why I put it up higher is because of how relevant this movie is, and that's going to be the case for a lot of these movies, just how relevant it is in our society and what it's trying to say and how it's trying to satirize what's happening. And it's just, the more I thought about it, and when we did our episode, the more we were talking about it, it was like, no, this movie is fantastic and it looks great. What it's trying to say is very important, but also it's not spoon feeding the audience, and it's really showcasing that it's multifaceted in the way people react to certain things under certain environments, and how their lives can change the way person is based on like the trauma that they're going through. And it like the Jesse Plemons character, you kind of understand where he's coming from, even though you don't agree with what he's doing. But it also makes you see like all these other people with all these really messed up beliefs and ideas and conspiracy theories, that they too are people, and they are probably they have gone through some shit that have put them in the situation that they're feeling and dealing with. And you know, our government's not doing much to help, and our politicians aren't doing much to help, and and they're trying to find any way possible to make sense of this world, and they'll do anything that makes sense to them that will kind of echo what they feel and see. And sometimes it's good, and sometimes they see it for what it is, and sometimes it's not. And it's very gray, and I think Begonia really showcases that in our culture and our reality right now, and that's why it's number 8.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
My number 7 would be 28 Years Later.
Yeah.
It's not anywhere for you.
It's
Huh?
unfortunately not. I do think it's a good movie. I think it's I think it's really interesting as as a Danny Boyle movie and what he's experimenting with in terms of editing and cinematography, and even the themes of what the whole genre of a zombie movie can be. It just wasn't. It's not a movie that I really want to go back or feel like I need to go back to and really rewatch. I might do it before Bone Temple, but
Yeah.
it just didn't speak to me as much as other people.
Other people like me.
Yeah.
I think so. I think with this movie, what really sold it for me is the kind of the last act, because I think that this movie has a great conversation about how we see humanity in such a dark world, and how sometimes especially when your parental figures, like in this movie, we have a dad that is very flawed and not really a great guy, all things considered.
Yeah.
And the mom is sort of losing her mind. She's not all there anymore. And I think through the young boy seeing the humanity in his own parents, who are kind of your very first perspective in the world, and kind of trying to love them anyway, and that gives him, it's actually like the third act of this movie kind of reveals that is like such a powerful thing when you're able to see the humanity in the world around you because of the way that you're able to see the humanity in the people close to you, despite seeing how flawed they are. And I think that's really what struck me about this movie, beyond how experimental it feels and how fun it is to watch, and the big ass penises that the zombies have, and that's really funny. And
Yeah.
but I just think like everything contributing to those themes, the pregnant infected that delivers a baby that's not infected. It's like this idea that children are innocent of the sins of their parents, and
Yeah.
just the emotion behind everything in that third act. Ray Fiennes' character is just amazing. But and through him, we're also seeing, it's like the fact that he doesn't kill the zombies, that he kind of tranquilizes them, and he does see them as still alive and living things, because they're not dead, they're not zombies, they're infected with a virus, but he kind of sees the humanity in them, and the reason that so it's kind of the subversion of the Heart of Darkness thing, where you're going to find this guy, and he's supposed to be crazy, but he sees the humanity in them, and that lets him keep his own humanity, right? So I think there's a degree of like, whenever we're able to see how a person might have ended up in the way that we know them, and kind of see the humanity behind it, it just kind of helps us preserve some of our own,
Yeah.
like for example, this is an extreme example, but last year the movie The Apprentice came out. It's a Donald Trump movie.
Yeah.
And you do not want to feel bad for like Ray Cohn in that movie. You do not, because he's not a good person.
Yeah.
But there is like the movie does capture a bit of a sadness to it.
Yeah, you feel the betrayal.
You feel the betrayal of it. And the reason that you feel the betrayal of it is not because you think that he deserves happiness, or you feel bad for him individually maybe.
Yeah.
But you feel the betrayal of it because you're a human being.
Yeah.
And I think that reminder is important when we kind of see that, like, a lot of the people that are doing awful things in the world that are miserable, they are also miserable.
Yeah.
And it's almost like a pitiful thing, but yeah, not trying, it's not a defense or a justification of their actions. It's more of just a kind of, let's not desensitize ourselves to the fact that on a smaller scale there are people that we can still help, and let's not let that ruin our view of the world, and stop believing that there's good in it.
Yeah.
That's my take on that. What's your next movie?
Mine is Weapons.
I'm such an asshole for doing that shit.
It's fine. I just thought it was a fun time. It was fun watching it in the theater. I think I saw it at a employee screening I saw with a bunch of guys.
Yeah.
And coworkers. And yeah, it was every turn the movie took, it was like you didn't really know what was going on. It was very funny, but also very. It was scary. Not many movies are very scary, but there are moments in which I was like, "Oh, that's pretty scary." Um, I think it also like grew a lot on me when we did our episode on it
Yeah,
because
that helped for sure.
yeah, because we really kind of dissected what the movie could be about and what a lot of people are taking away from it, and I don't know, it's just kind of like one of those fun horror movies that's kind of more than what you would go in or what you would expect it to be, and it just I think Zach Krager will like go on to do like cool, awesome, great stuff after this because I think with the Barbarian in this we kind of see like what really makes him interesting as a storyteller, and like um how he wants to frame his movies and like showcase the perspectives of each of his characters, and I think it's cool. Yeah, it's a good movie.
I love Weapons too. I maybe another watch it'll be higher, but I again it's like one of those things I want to include it, but I can't be totally dishonest and say that I'm ready for that at this moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, my number 6 film is Sentimental Value. Because Joachim Trier is like insanely good at just making the unspoken like equally important as what is actually said in the movie. It's like this image that is only completed through the absences of what is happening.
Yeah.
The way he frames the family home, everyone's different perspectives on, like, that's the thing that I love the most about this movie is everyone's different perspectives of what the narrative of their family is.
Yeah.
And how they reckon with that and how they try to understand that. How can we all grow in the same place and have such vastly different perspectives on what is true about it? Like, it's almost like a Rashomon effect on the family home, and I think that's so interesting. Like, the way that, like, I mean, I just relate to that a lot. Me and my sister, we have such different perspectives of our childhood and like how everything went down, and we've just like somehow taken these two different kind of narratives from it.
Yeah.
And sometimes we just have to reckon with that, and it causes friction. But sometimes I think just doing things together is more powerful than conversation. And I think that's what this movie highlights a lot. Not to mention the fact that everyone's performance is amazing, and that it's incredibly emotional, and it looks beautiful, and the soundtrack is so good too.
Yeah, great, great movie.
Yeah.
This is where it gets crazy. This is where
Okay.
it's getting crazy. My number 6 is Predator Badlands.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh.
So it's a great. I think it's just like a perfect adventure action movie. It's super surprising. I wasn't expecting it to be as good as it was. I am sure a lot of people don't like this movie just based on the fact that it's PG-13, or that it's the main character is a predator, and that the only other like co-character is like an android played by Elle Fanning, and
Both of our number 6s have Elle Fanning.
That's true. And I'm sure a lot of people are like, "Oh, it's Disneyfied. It's because it's PG-13 and there's no blood in it. There's no like human blood in it or whatever." I think that's all superficial. It's like that stuff doesn't, like, you guys are just making excuses because you didn't get like another boring by the book Predator movie. This is
Just
doing
like, yeah, samey.
Yeah, this is doing something actually very different, and it's criticizing kind of what a lot of people want from a Predator movie, and that's the over masculine toxicity of how we view, being a guy, being like a dude, being the alpha male, and how we can't just we can't just be a lone wolf. We can't just do things on our own. We need the help and support from other people, and we need to see uh even our ideas about like women and their role in our society and how they're not objectified. Like we shouldn't be objectifying them, and how they serve like a bigger purpose other than just being a companion. Like
it's a perfect little antidote to the like a teenage boy who's like 13 to 15, and he's starting to listen to Andrew Tate and like all this stuff. Like if this movie is a very combative to that kind of version of masculinity,
because that is what's ruining a lot of young men today, is that idea of this just very toxic masculine idea of a man that just isn't real, and the ones that are real are just the worst people in the world. And this is a way to showcase that you could still be a good person and still also be the most badass person possible. You could utilize the things that nature gives you, and that other people and other ideas offer to you, and other cultures, and to get the same places that you want. Like he loses all of his weapons and his technology, but he has to utilize the environment of the planet that's literally trying to kill him to his own advantage.
By understanding the creatures, he utilizes it through empathy.
Yeah.
And also, it kind of captures this idea of the alpha wolf being the one that protects the pack. It's not that you're supposed to be the lone wolf.
Yeah. There's just so many themes within this movie that are very, again, relevant to today, and what we need to see more of in society, rather than what we need to get rid of. Like this movie, just on a lot of levels, just totally went over my expectations and what I thought it was going to be, and it's so fun. The action's incredible. There's no point in the movie in which I'm like, this is getting boring, or this isn't interesting, or this isn't being extremely creative in what it's trying to do. It's like a fantasy movie that's also a sci-fi movie, an adventure buddy movie. It's all these things put into one, and Dan Trachtenberg is just like, he's a god at this point with these Predator movies. Like Killer of Killers was almost in my top 15 because of how awesome that movie is as well. But like Badlands, just like, I can't wait to see what he does in the next movie. He has to make the next movie, because
Predator Badlands is the best Predator movie in my opinion.
Yeah, it's so good. And I know that's going to be a surprise that it's so high and up into my list, but the movie truly is like something everybody could watch and get something out of. And I think that's what movies should be.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of movies can be great at that, and some movies are specific, and that's good too.
Yeah.
But sometimes in the specificity, it's universal.
Yeah. Like
my next movie. Actually, no, it's not even that specific. This is actually a pretty universal movie, but it focuses on something specific. The Life of Chuck, number 5.
Haven't seen that one.
The reason is because, well, one, I'm a huge Mike Flanagan guy. I love his work. I love the way that he makes movies, and he's such a wonderful person. Like, just, he clearly has such a love for life, and he made this movie to show his kids that, to be like, this is how beautiful it is to be alive. This is how I see things, And he kind of adapts these Stephen King stories that nobody would think to adapt, and this is one of those. And I think that I'm just so glad that he's here to do it, because this film it's basically like exactly about how we are all technically insignificant, but we're also incredibly important, because there are so many lives that we touch just through our existence we don't even think about. And the way that this movie frames that as kind of containing the whole Walt Whitman, like, you contain multitudes, showing how a person is basically like every single person is like a universe of themselves. And so the movie has this wonderful structure where it kind of grows and shrinks at the same time. Because as it shrinks in literal scale, you're watching, this. It starts big in scale and then it shrinks down, but it kind of increases you kind of get the weight and the importance of what the scale represented at the very beginning of the movie by the end. And so, yeah, I really am having a hard time describing this right now, but I think that movie has stuck with me for basically since I saw it in June, I think, for the entire rest of the year, because it has some of the best individual scenes and sequences of the entire year. I know a lot of people aren't going to dig the fact that it has like the narration and it can be kind of overly sentimental, but I love all of it. I think it's a movie everyone needs to see. The way that we all kind of feel at a certain point or another unimportant, and even people who don't live that long are important too,
Yeah.
And can have drastic impacts on all of the people that they come across. So, yeah, I don't know. It's just a nice perspective, a beautiful perspective, a beautiful reminder of that we all matter, I think.
Yeah.
That's all I can really give right now, but I could probably do better later.
My number 5 is Superman.
I was waiting for that.
Very similar to Badlands in terms of this is what we kind of need to see more of in a male figure in our entertainment. It's someone who can be masculine, but not in a way that's like toxic. That's downplaying everybody else. Like Superman in this movie and in any real iteration of who he is supposed to represent the best of humanity, even though he's an alien and he's not treated the same in that aspect. And we have these big billionaires who hate these illegal aliens, yes, and they wanted the kind of take over the world for themselves for just the sake of their own hate and their lust for more power. And Superman, who has all the power in the world, doesn't do it for his own benefit, but does it for the benefit of society and for the people that he loves and for every single living being on the planet, including little squirrels and dogs. The relationship he has with his parents and even his own flaws as a person of having to kind of weave in and out of the political ideologies of our society. He still wants to just do the right thing, even though he knows that it might not be the best case in terms of like what he has to do. He still wants to be the morally right person because he knows it's right, because he knows that this other country is trying to kill this other country because they very relevant to like a lot of the wars that are happening today. And he knows that it's not right for them for a whole other country to kill and bully another country just because they can and because they want to take over. And the movie's very political, and I think a lot of people didn't like that or are trying not to see that it's political, even though it's very much very political film. But I think that's what makes it great and what makes it better than most other superhero movies that have been coming out today, because it's actually pointing at something we need to talk about and we need to see and represent. And yeah, I just think the movie is great on just a whole bunch of different fronts.
I agree with you, and once again, you're making me question my whole thing here, because that movie has like it really is about how a lot of the billionaires, like Lex Luthor, they want the power that Superman has on a literal level.
Yeah.
But the power that Superman really has is within all of us. We are all capable of the most powerful thing about Superman, which is his humanity and his capacity to serve a community. But also, we all make mistakes like Superman does as well. And I think, we have more in common with an alien like that than we do a fucking billionaire. We have more in common with each other and with the people that we're told to hate than we do with the people who are telling us to hate them.
Exactly.
And that is exactly what this movie needs to illustrate.
Yeah.
And I think it's brilliant for that reason as well.
Yeah, and again, like all these movies that seem kind of bizarre to put like so high up my list, it's like it's more about the relevancy of what the movie's trying to say than it is that it's like a big superhero movie. It's like it's more than just that.
Yeah, and for me, I mean, I'm trying to balance the relevance thing, but for me, I always go for the personal angle.
I try to go for that as well, and I mean, these movies do like hit me on a personal level as well.
Well, one that really hits me on a personal level that I at one point actually touched the number 1 spot. Number 4 is Wake Up Dead Man.
Okay, yeah.
And the reason that it is so high on my list is that, well, it really all comes down to that Josh O'Connor character, Father Judd. But no, this whole movie, I mean, it's a super fun movie. It's just as clever as the other ones. It looks beautiful. The lighting is incredible. I love the gothic atmosphere of it. But really, the core of this movie is the reason that it's so high, and that is that I think just Rian Johnson is such a human filmmaker. All of the Knives Out movies are celebrations of decency, not perfection, not being Superman, but also being like Superman, being decent to other people, not being perfect. Like Josh O'Connor's character in this movie, he's capable of putting his fists up. He's capable of swatting someone's hand away and lashing out and getting angry. He has to punch a punching bag to calm down sometimes. Because he gets so angry. That's not what you would associate with someone who's trying to build a community, who's trying to be a priest and help people and be patient with people and bring them to, a better understanding. That's not what you would associate with that. It's the same thing people said with Luke Skywalker. They were like, Luke Skywalker would never make that fatal mistake and, exile himself, cut himself off from the Force, believe that he was not good for it anymore and that, his absence would be more help than his presence and kind of stop being that way. And it's almost a parallel, this movie, to the way that Father Judd is able to use his beliefs, his religion, literally like the Jedi use their religion, for knowledge, defense, guidance, and not aggression and attack. That's the way that we're supposed to do it. And I think even with the podcast, even with the way that this has like one of my favorite episodes we did, because we got very like into the kind of confessional aspect of the movie at the end, and we kind of talked about some real things. And I think that even with the podcast and all the videos I'm making every day, I'm trying really hard to, there's this instinct within me to just like gotcha people, and like people comment the stupidest shit.
Oh yeah, people are so stupid online.
And I know it's because they don't see me as a person. They see me as a little character on their phone. I know this comes with the territory, and I know it's impossible to be successful at anything like this and not have haters and not have people who are trying to tell you that you're an awful person for your movie taste or you said something wrong and try to call you out and disagree with you constantly. And sometimes I just have to be like, these people are so stupid, and I just want to make fun of them. I want to, call them out. I want to tear them down. But that's not the way. That's not the way. And I have to constantly remind myself that that's not the way. And I'm going to fuck that up. And we're all going to fuck that up. And we're all going to make those mistakes. And I think that is really what this movie hit me on that level. Yeah. It is exactly how I felt about Luke in The Last Jedi. But I think this movie, it just puts it in I think the reason people are able to accept it with this movie is because it's not a character they already know, and they don't have that nostalgic attachment to what he's quote unquote supposed to look like. Yeah. But yeah, just the boxer priest thing, perfect. That's really what sells it. But everything else around it, I also think is great. I don't have a problem with this movie really at all.
Yeah. So this fourth one, that got its claws in me, and I'm just like, yes, this is what 2024 is 2025 is all about, and this Avatar Fire and Ash.
I
Yeah.
should have that higher as well.
Yeah,
but it's hard.
I know. But this movie is just like on a personal level. I love I love James Cameron. I love his movies. I love the Avatar movies, but this movie is kind of the culmination of everything James Cameron has done and puts into his movies, and like all the themes of family and grief and revenge and hate and love, and it's all there. It's all there. There's like 3 points in this movie where I'm just crying because it's like it's so purposeful in what it's trying to say and its meaning, and it's so personal in these characters and how they're trying to deal with their grief and their emotions and the kind of shit that they have to go through just to want to live a happy life on this planet versus these colonizers, these humans, these pinkskins. And like, I don't know what more I can say about this movie other than it's one of the greatest epics that we're getting. We don't get movies like this all the time, and only James Cameron is like one of the few directors that can deliver in that aspect. And it's not a completely flawless movie, but I don't care. Like, the movie just it's moving, it's action packed. There's a lot of creativity in the world, in the story, and in what the movie's trying to say. We already have an episode talking all about all the stuff that we like about it, but it's like, it's just the best case scenario for this movie. And it's not that I ever doubted James. You can never doubt James Cameron. But it just, especially in my rewatch of the movie, it's quite, it goes beyond expectations of what I was expecting for this movie. And any criticism of it being just a rehash or it's just the same thing over again is super surface level and unintelligent in its analysis of the film. But that's just me being, I guess, defensive of it. But I don't know. People need to get better criticisms when it comes to films, in terms of like not liking the movie for that reason.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's dumb. I love that movie too. So much. I gave it 5 stars. I don't know why it's not this high in the list. I just fucking, it's so hard. I can't pick these movies. It's literally, they're all the same. I love them all the same for different reasons.
Yeah.
Okay, this one though needs to be high up. I know it. It's like, it's the movie I saw the most in theaters this year. Number 3 is Eddington.
Oh, that's my number 3 too.
I saw it 6 fucking times in the theater, and I guess we could just talk about it together.
Yeah.
We have a whole episode on this one. Once again, I mean, you want to talk about relevancy.
Yeah.
This movie is really showing a mirror to like how we all treat each other, and how it's usually something very personal that gets people to get involved so extreme politically.
Yeah.
And like just all the hypocrisy and everything that's going on, like it really is just about how we're all battling, and all this is doing is generating data for the data companies and the AI tech companies to just come in and fuck everything up, and nobody's paying attention to it. Again, a lot of these movies are about how we look left and right instead of up.
Yeah.
Superman, the catchphrase for the movie is "look up," and I found that to be very pointed. So yeah, Eddington has the best, besides Park Chan-wook. This has the best shots of iPhones and phone screens of the year. It is it is, in my opinion, the funniest movie of the year.
It's so funny. It's so biting in its satire. It's so relevant. It's a flawless movie to me. It's a flawless movie. It's, at this point, you obviously have your own favorite, but this is my favorite Ari Aster movie. It's perfect, and it says exactly. It's such a mirror towards our true reality of how people are react to things and like see the political landscape and the social landscape of today. And a lot of people are upset that they see themselves in this movie and they don't want to see themselves in this movie, and that's their biggest criticism, is that I don't want to relive 2020. Yeah, of course you don't want to relive 2020.
Nobody
because we
does,
were all awful.
But we got to look at it.
Yeah, we have to look at how we were and how we treated other people, and how we took that event, not even an event, that pandemic as a really a turning point in our country and in our reality and in our politics. And a lot of people were very performative in all aspects of the social change that has been happening.
And you see, like, a lot of people say this movie is centrist. I completely disagree.
It's not.
Joe Cross, from the get, he's not a good guy.
Yeah.
He perceives the mask mandate as a form of oppression for a system that usually serves him. When the guy says he can't breathe in the mask and won't enter, trying to enter the store without a mask, Joe Cross he is a vulture to this reasoning, because he has asthma, and he takes this and he uses it. He doesn't say that to the people at the beginning of the movie that are telling him to put on a mask. He like, in that moment, performatively puts on his mask, steps out of his car, and goes, "Hey guys, there's a way to treat people." And then he goes, "You know what? I can't breathe either," and he takes it off.
Yeah.
Because that's what people do, is they kind of have formed this like one thing, and then they all kind of just like form like a bandwagon of like, this is how we're gonna fight this perceived, I guess, oppression that we're experiencing.
Yeah.
But it's just
it's a perfect movie. And another criticism that's just so stupid is that the movie doesn't give a solution to all the problems.
Ari Aster's not giving solutions. He's showing us what's up.
Exactly. Like, not every movie needs like the happy ending or the big reveal of like, this is what needs to happen.
There can't be a happy ending because we haven't gotten there.
Yeah.
As a society, the movie literally is just like, hey, this is where you're at right now. Do something about it.
Yeah.
It's just showing you the build up, and it's saying, and look where we ended up. Go outside. This is where you ended up.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
It's a perfect movie.
Yeah, I agree. And it's, again, hilarious. I quote Joe Cross all the time. I dressed up as him for Halloween.
Too, yeah.
Funniest shit in the world. Like when he's like, "What the fuck am I
looking
at?" We do that all the time. The scene where he's calling Ted Garcia a sexual predator and he has no actual evidence of it is the funniest. That literally, I think this is the best Joaquin Phoenix performance of all time.
It's so funny.
Like
it's so
the way
great.
he's just like saying stuff and then immediately like, you can tell he's really scared, like he's stepping on landmines. He's just like, a predator. Okay. Like, just incredible. See, we can talk about it and we just start laughing, but really, no, it's serious. Like, this movie, it shows us a lot of stuff that we need to see. Brilliant fucking film. I love it. I guess that was both of our number 3.
Yeah.
Okay, my number 2. One Battle After Another.
Okay.
One Battle After Another. It was not above Eddington for a long time, but after this most recent viewing in 70mm that we went and traveled to see, I think that it's just flawless. It's just it's just every scene in the movie is one of the best scenes of the year, I think. Like, It just has nonstop greatness coming at you. There's again, very quotable movie. Like, it's an instant classic. It's very quotable. It's very funny as well, just like almost as funny as Eddington, I would say. Yeah. But it also, the reason that this has the leg up, given that it is just as relevant and funny and all of that, and formally just brilliant, is the fact that I think it's just a little more personal. Like, the idea of the generational ideas in this movie, the parents and not trusting, the idea of trust in the movie, just that final climactic scene between Chase Infinity and Leonardo DiCaprio, just everything that builds up to that moment is it really just like floods you emotionally in that one little moment, and it almost doesn't hit, like you don't realize the weight of it the first time you see it.
No.
But as you watch it more, I think this movie just gets heavier and heavier, and and a little sadder, a little funnier, a little more just emotional all around. And I do think that this movie is about kind of how all like I kind of was saying with Life of Chuck too. All of us are important in this kind of, I guess, endless string of personal and political battling that's going on all the time. All of us are kind of part of a certain. We occupy a certain time span in that, and whatever we're doing to fight the good fight, it might not be the tipping point. You know, for all we know, it's not the tipping point. You know, we might not see this freedom, this, you know, utopian like society. We might not see any, you know, the big change that we want to get to within our lifetime. It might not be ours, right? But it's someone's, and we have to care about the people that we don't even know for that reason, and that we won't even live to know.
Yeah.
And because here's the thing, while we're not the tipping point, we are still essential to get there, because it's all like a domino, right? And if you take one domino out, you're breaking the bridge, and we can't get to the next thing. So all of us have to keep fighting the good fight in our own way if we ever want that to exist, even if it's not for us. So there's a selflessness to it. There's an idea that it's bigger than you, but there's also the idea that you are individually important.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I agree with all that.
Anyway, what is your number 2 film?
It's gonna be Sentimental Value. Just like on a personal level, it clicked on like every single thing. Like it's like such a like personally, it's a flawless movie. I think not even personally, it's just a flawless movie. Like everything that it kind of touches on, the relationships, the feeling of not knowing if you're going to be able to put your own creative art out there because everything is kind of against you, but also kind of the depression and the feeling of being scared about the future of how people will see your work and will see who you are through your work. It's like it's everything that the movie touches upon is like it's done flawlessly and great. And like there's not much I can add to it or say to it that you haven't said or anybody else has said. It's just it's a perfect movie.
It is.
Yeah.
Okay, number 1 for me, Marty Supreme.
That is kind of crazy.
Marty Supreme. And I'll tell you why. It's because, and I feel like usually I can see it coming, because I mean, Timothée Chalamet is one of my favorite actors working. I know a lot of people find him annoying on a personal level, and I get that. I do think he can be kind of cringy in some of his behind the scenes stuff. I think for this movie in particular, it's actually on purpose. Mm-hmm. I think he's trying to kind of inject the spirit of Marty into the marketing, and it's funny. But I'm drawn to his performances always. I think he's one of my favorite actors to watch in the world. But for me, the reason that it's Marty Supreme is because, well, this is a year where first of all, I'm the same age as Marty in the movie. And I feel like the movie is a coming of age movie in a really strange way. Like, Marty's not, he does a lot of terrible shit in the movie. Because he believes it's like a means to an end. He's like, if I can just get to this place to show people that I'm good at this thing, then everything will be forgiven, because the success is guaranteed at that point, but it's not guaranteed. And you can't always get to that place. And yeah, there's other elements to it that hold you back, but it's why we can't just like disregard everything around us in pursuit of the dream. This year I was kind of pursuing my dream, which is this, and which is the stuff that I make on my own. Yeah. And it's starting to. I feel like there's this idea where I'm like, this thought that I had to have to myself earlier in the year, where I was like, this is inevitable as long as I stick with it. As long as I keep doing this every day, I will get there. That's just how you have to think sometimes. Yeah. You have to think, no, this is going to happen because I'm going to make it happen. And so you try to control essentially your fate. You try to just strangle your fate and hold on to it, and sometimes you just go too far. I mean, obviously, I'm not doing the stuff that Marty's doing in this movie, but every time, now that I'm kind of seeing momentum happen in my own pursuits of what I'm trying to do, I have this feeling, if I go to New York and I meet M. Night Shyamalan and I have that great experience, or I go to a film festival, something that is part of like me living out my dreams essentially, and I'm so lucky to be able to do all these things. But when I come back and I go and I work like a normal shift at my day job, I kind of get this feeling of like, why am I back on the ground right now? Like, why can't I keep that momentum going all the time? And so there's this sense of impatience that I think, a lot of people have when, I guess, you're my age. It's just what I've been told from people older than me, that you kind of feel like the world, like you have to kind of keep up. And I haven't gone to college. I feel behind like everybody else. And I think this movie asks the question, are we chasing a dream, or are we running away from something that we don't want to face? It's dangerous. It's really dangerous.
Yeah.
But that is just the truth of it. The truth of it is that a lot of us chase our dreams because we are scared of of sitting in the discomfort of being, I guess, ordinary. Like, and that's the sense of ego to it. It's like, no, we all are ordinary. Like I was saying with Life of Chuck in One Battle, it's like, you don't have to pick between being ordinary and extraordinary. I believe everyone is extraordinary just by existing, and everyone is a very unique and has the potential to do something that nobody else could do. I believe that. But I also part of the reason I believe that is because I have to believe it about everybody in order to also believe it about myself. So we try to convince other people of the delusion of that our dream is inevitable, so that we can believe that ourselves, and so that we can keep pushing forward. And that, so yeah, I guess imperfect way to explain it, but I'm not going to keep rambling, as you've been saying.
I mean, I guess it makes sense that would be your number one. I do feel like for a lot of people, it's a bit of recency bias because it just came out. But I think for you, it does make more sense that you would like it in the way that you do. I think it's great. It's good. I think really the biggest problem for me is that it feels its length. I literally looked at my watch twice watching the movie. Not because I was like necessarily bored, but because I was like, truly, where is this movie going? I don't like what is happening right now. Yeah, I understand like the whole hype, and I mean it is on my list for greatest movies of this year. But I mean I feel like it's just not as personal to me. Like I get it, but I also don't relate with like some of the aspects of the movie. But it's a fun movie. It's great. Just kind of just seeing him just go through it, and like with every small win that he gets, there's a bigger loss that happens until the
because
very
he
end.
Overextends. It's like we don't want to believe that we want to believe that we can do it all on our own, but that's just not true. Nobody does anything alone.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be at all the success that I've gotten so far. I'm not there without a lot of friends that I've made, a lot of people that have helped me out, a lot of advice I've gotten, a lot of relationships that have formed. Like, you can't take any of that for granted and just be like, oh, I'm more important than this. Like, even when I say that I go back to work after going to a film festival, and it's like I kind of feel like I'm back on the ground, I'm like, oh man, like that was so amazing, and I felt so special for being there, and now I'm here again, and I feel like I'm I felt like an orange ball, and now I'm a white ball, right?
Yeah.
But no, we're all white balls, and we can prove ourselves with the white ball, right?
Yeah.
It's and yeah, we just don't want to admit that we do have to lean on people sometimes, and also that we're not more important than other human beings. We're just not. Like, yes, the my day job, not passionate about it itself as the work, but the people that I'm with, I mean, some of those people I'm including in the sense that I wouldn't be where I am without them, and they're all, you have to appreciate everything about life. You can't be so focused on one thing, because like every single thing that you've been through and that you're going through and that comes your way is actually essential to forming the person that you are, and you will miss who that person is if you're so focused on trying to control everything. Because you eventually, the world is like a sphere. You will, if you run away far enough, you will end up right back where you started. You will end up face to face with the things that you have been trying to run away from the entire time.
Yeah.
And I just think that this is an important reminder for a lot of people, but for me, I maybe risk sounding like a complete asshole talking about this movie, but I'm just trying to be completely honest.
No, I mean, it's relatable in the sense that everybody wants to do the thing that they're passionate about, but I mean, Marty does it in a way that's so overtly selfish that it's ridiculous,
Right.
but it's also entertaining.
And I think people take movies like this on too literally.
Yeah.
Because you're saying, oh, why am I supposed to care about him? He's such a bad guy. Because this is the emotional truth of what it's like to pursue a dream. It's not just that you're going to do that.
Not
stuff,
just
literally.
that, it's the fact that to make an interesting character, you have to give him flaws, and the more flaws you give him, the more interesting he becomes.
Yeah.
And so that's the case. That's what the Safdies are very good at, is finding these really flawed characters and making them the protagonists, because that's the most interesting person you could showcase a story with. Because, and I was talking to our other roommates about this, that's why it's hard to write a good protagonist in movies, even in big blockbuster movies like Star Wars. It's hard to write a Luke Skywalker character because he's so moralistic, and it's like at a certain point it becomes kind of stodgy and boring.
That's why you got to make Last Jedi.
Sure, but the case with Star Wars, the first one, is that's why you have these other characters that are beside him, like Han Solo, who's not as like.
It's kind of like Superman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you just make your main character like this extremely flawed but interesting person, then you make the story more interesting. And like, and obviously it also comes with the case of whether or not what kind of story you're doing. Star Wars is a good versus evil story, so you have to make the main character a good moral person.
Yeah.
But in a movie like this, where it's not about good versus evil, it's more about the character study and like his pursuit for what he wants. Then you have more leeway to make him as awful as you want him to be, as long as it makes it interesting for the journey for him to find what he wants to get.
Yeah. Yeah, and so I think people are misreading the film when they say, oh, the film wants you to praise this guy and believe in him. It's like, no, well, yes, he is trying to convince everyone of his delusions, because he's like a black hole. It's just everyone gets sucked into his idea of what he wants, and it's very dangerous. But no, this movie is not about praising this guy. It's just showing the horror that can come from trying to chase something you want and trying to control things that you can't control in the pursuit of that.
Yeah.
We have to be clear about what we can and can't control in this life, and I think that's essential to I guess our character.
Yeah.
And yeah, when you're I think a huge common denominator amongst a lot of very, very bad and also very, very powerful people in the world is that, powerful in a material sense, is that they all want to control what they can.
Well, yeah, and honestly, that's why they're in such power, because they don't care about anybody else. They only care about themselves and how to get more money, and how to be kind of scary to everybody, and that's how they kind of rise to power. And in that sense, that they're not afraid to be the bad guy and get what they want. And that's why you see all these CEOs just being awful people, because they know how to get their way, and they force themselves into that way in such a such an overpowering sense of not giving a shit about what other people think about them.
I'll just say this. I think that this movie is... It's like... There's a balance between... So, Marty has to mythicize, like, his whole pursuit of everything, and he kind of, like, makes it very big and, like, oh, this is, like, a myth that, you know, he's gonna be this great thing, and he knows it, and he's on the path to it. But then, you know, along the way, you have to actually surrender to things that risk, you know, and like his unwillingness to surrender to certain things is his downfall, really.
Yeah.
Because he believes that his myth is greater than that, and it's this, you know, it's this very, I guess, this attitude towards success that's very American.
He just has a big ego.
Yeah, but well, sure.
He doesn't want to give in to the eye that he's any lesser than what he believes himself to be.
Right, but I think a lot of this movie is him saying and doing things that he feels he should be doing for the sake of how he's perceived, like, and that screws him over. So yeah, it's like you kind of risk becoming the very thing that you're trying to defeat when you're doing the stuff like this. For, you know, because you could try to pursue something honestly that you like care about, and then you just become you just get a life of servitude. Like, for example, if you were trying to be a filmmaker, but then you just become a director for hire,
yeah,
and you're not actually making the art you want to make. It's like you made it, but did you?
No.
You made it. You're a successful filmmaker, but are you in the way that matters to you, right? So it's not really about the bells and whistles of it. It's just about wanting to show the world that, you know, you have something to offer to the craft that you like.
Yeah. I mean, like, when he joins the whatchamacallit, the fucking the basketball guys.
I forget what it's called.
Oh, Jesus Christ! When he does pretty much the circus like routines of it all, it's like you could tell that he's very good at ping pong. Obviously, like, he's like extremely talented in doing it, but he's just trying to prove to himself that he's better than everybody else that's good at ping pong. Like, when with the championships and that would happen later, that he never even gets to do. But he needs to prove to himself that he could beat Endo in that one fake turns into a real match, just to prove to himself that he could do it. And that's all he really needed, and that's all we kind of, that's all he really wants to see for himself.
That's all you can ask for.
Yeah, because at that point, at the end of the movie, it's like, he's not going to be in the championship, so this is the only moment in which he could prove to himself and to everybody that he could actually be a champion. And that's what he gets, and he gets a little bit more after that too.
Anyway, what's your number one of the year?
Number one, One Battle After Another. It's a perfect movie. Okay, so
whoa,
what was our biggest surprises of the year?
Whoa, you're not going to expand on that?
What can I say? It's a perfect movie.
Yeah, but what makes there's a lot of perfect movies on your list.
I guess in my sense, but no, I think One Battle is a flawless film. There's not much
You're
I
not
can
gonna extrapolate on.
We've had 2 episodes talking about it. We know it's my favorite movie.
But what about you?
What about me? We've talked about this
We've talked about why the movie's good, but why is it your favorite?
Because I think it's a perfect movie.
Come on, man. There's not like an emotional thing that
like I said, I've talked about all that stuff before. Like, at this point, like, what is there more for me to say? No,
I don't
exactly.
know. You relate to some of the characters, I think.
Well, yeah, I know. We had 2 episodes in which we talk about why we love it so much.
Sure.
It is my favorite movie of the year. I've seen it the most amount of times. There's really nothing more I could say about it.
All right, I just wanted to give you the opportunity to really, share that why that's so important to you.
It's important because, like, I don't need to get into like literally repeating myself in the first 2 episodes that we've talked about, in which we've talked over an hour about the movie.
Okay.
This is
if
that.
you feel there's nothing else to add beyond that, then fair enough. I just thought, when you're talking about favorites, it's not really an analysis of the film entirely. It's it's kind of like, I don't know. I just went on a whole tangent about Marty Supreme. I kind of feel bad that you're not.
I mean, like we've all known, and I'm like, even through our episodes, it's very well known that this was my favorite movie of the year. Throughout the year, I've seen it the most amount of times. I've talked it ad nauseum about it. What more do I need to say about it?
If that's how you feel, then that's how you feel. Okay, what was the biggest surprise of the year?
I guess maybe Badlands for me.
I would say,
at least in terms of our top 15.
I would say the same. Twinless is also up there.
Twinless was a really big surprise too.
Okay. And then, what was our best theater experience? Period. I think that's hard. That's really hard.
I mean, yeah, it's
maybe that one Battle 70mm was fun. Just like the context of the experience, I would say. I loved seeing Marty Supreme on Christmas with my family. That was fun. Man, there's not really one that like really stands out like entirely above the rest.
I think one of them would actually probably be Regretting You.
Oh, and yeah.
Regretting You was really fun.
We all laughed a lot. I think Eternity. When I took my girlfriend to see Eternity, it was my second time seeing it, but I just it was so vindicating because I knew she was just gonna eat that movie up, and she did. And so I think that was just really fun to be able to do that with her. Also, I saw Weapons Inside of an Old School. That was one of the better ones of the year. Superman was up there, the screening of Superman. I actually liked the screening of F1 a lot. They had a lot of like cars out there, and it was really fun. In terms of festival, my favorite was probably Black Phone 2. Everyone was excited about that. So, yeah, there's a few in there.
Yeah, I mean, any of the 40Xs were pretty great.
I think Avatar was super fun.
Avatar was great.
Because our roommate clocked out.
That Mission Impossible one was great. Like, pretty much if it's 40X, it's a fun time. What about the biggest letdowns of the year?
Honestly, I would say him. I would say The Wolfman. I would say
The Wolfman for sure.
The Conjuring: Last Rites.
Didn't see that one.
Megan 2 could have been funny. Didn't see that one. Was really annoying. Other Flight Risk. Because I wanted it to be campy and good. It was so bad, and it was just so awful.
I don't know. With movies like that, it's like it's pretty obvious that they were going to be bad.
But I thought it was going to be funny bad. It wasn't.
I guess you could say it wasn't really a letdown. It was kind of, you could have seen it coming either or. But the Keeper, kind of thought I was going to see something a bit more different.
For me, Anemone was one of them as well.
I haven't seen that one either. There was like I said, this year was pretty packed with like just banger after banger. There's not a lot of really bad movies. I guess honestly, maybe F1 was a pretty big letdown.
Yeah.
The way that they hyped up the movie to be like basically Top Gun Maverick 2.0, but with racing. It really was just like Joseph, what's his name? Joseph
Kaczynski.
It's his Days of Thunder, which was like the movie after Top Gun that nobody really watched because it wasn't Top Gun, but racing. Yeah, it's a fine movie. It just didn't really blow my mind. There was some pretty cool stuff that was going on, but again, kind of a letdown. Honey Don't was a bit of a letdown, but it was a little. I think it was a little bit better than Drive Away Dolls.
Pretty equal to me.
They're about the same. What else? Yeah, I mean, if the movie was, The Gorge was a letdown a bit.
Yeah, a little bit. But he redeemed himself with the Black Phone too.
Sure. Opus, I wanted AOW to be in something really great, and that was just like okay. Yeah, it's mostly.
They're mostly okay movies.
Yeah, they're just okay. They weren't like the worst movies ever. They just didn't really exceed expectations.
Because this year was amazing.
Yeah.
So season 2 of the podcast, I guess we could talk about for a second. I hope that we can introduce some new concept-driven episodes. We have something planned for the season premiere that I don't know how it's going to go, to be honest, but we'll try and figure it out. Not more on that later.
Yeah.
We want to maybe have a guest on. Really, it's just about figuring out the logistics technology-wise and whether they would be here in the room with us where Chucky is, or if they would be over the computer, and what would be easier.
Yeah.
On top of that, though, something we both really agree on is that we want to do a commentary on a movie at some point. That is one of the funnest things you can do on a podcast, I think. And there's just so many movies we could do commentaries on that would be amazing. I think we would do great commentaries. Anything else you want to do in season 2 that besides that?
I mean, nothing too crazy or new. I feel like really digging into not. I guess I do want to get more into looking at the overlaying history or careers of certain filmmakers.
Yeah,
and
we need to do more of those.
What they contributed to like the cinematic landscape of things. Like maybe we could talk about Christopher Nolan movies when Odyssey comes out.
Yeah.
Or something down the line. But yeah, I do want to talk more about on the career of filmmakers rather than just the single piece of work that they're doing.
Yeah, I agree with that. More stuff like the premiere episode that we did.
Yeah.
And as far as this season 1, I'm proud of us. I think we put out an episode a week consistently. We didn't fuck that up ever.
Yeah. I think one time we can get the video to work, so it was
like
audio.
at 1 a.m. we put it out, but we got it. We did it. It was Mission Impossible, so it was kind of fitting.
But wasn't there one which we literally didn't have the video?
No, yeah, that was One Battle Part 2. But we had the episode out. We just didn't have the video version for a little while. That was a problem. But other than that, I mean, we kind of found a way to manage this somehow and keep this train going pretty much the whole year since April, and just trying to put out episodes and clips. Clips we need to do more of. It's just hard to, I'm already making a TikTok a day, and then trying to make a clip like all the time to finding the best nuggets from here to put out. But really, that's what we need to be doing to get more people to listen to what we have to offer, because I do think that we have a good thing going. I just think we just need more ears on it.
I mean, eventually I think we will gain a bit of a following just based on the fact that people like hearing people talk about movies, especially if they agree with us. They
won't always, because we defend a lot of movies
that we do,
don't really like.
And I mean that will also get us a lot of fans, I'm sure, and haters that will just hate watches, which is also good.
Yes, we need more hate watchers, more haters.
Yeah.
Because more haters means you're successful, I think, to a degree. But yeah, other than that, I guess I do want to thank anybody who's stopped in to listen to any one of these. Really appreciate it. I know some people have, listened to these and we've gotten some feedback, and so for the few people that I guess have like actually come to me and given me feedback, I appreciate that. And yeah, I just hope to kind of expand. We're also going to kind of I guess overhaul our logo and everything for the next season, so stay tuned for that. I want to kind of upgrade us professionally in terms of our quality. I know our camera quality isn't the best; it never has been. Our audio is pretty good, I think. It's just that our camera quality is just I don't know how these people do it with the dual camera setup and everything. So yeah, we'll need to definitely implement some upgrades later down the line. But I believe that with stuff like this, you shouldn't invest like a ton of money and resources into it immediately. You have to build the plane as you're flying it, because really, people are here to listen to what we have to say. It's not about how pretty the picture looks, really. It's, it's about the content.
I mean, that's what I've always said when we first started this. Like, we'll figure out the kinks like later on, but let's just like get it.
You have to do it. There are so many people, that the way we wouldn't have started this is if we had just waited to have a great setup and have everything we could ever need to do it, because then you're kind of just hollow at that point. We need to exercise what counts, which is trying to make the podcast interesting. And so that's the things that we really want to focus on. But it would be nice to, I guess, fill out some of those shortcomings in the second season. But yeah, I guess I want to thank you for doing this with me.
I mean, yeah, well, it had to be a mutual thing. Like, we both wanted to do it because we were both like kind of like trying to figure out like how to talk about movies without, like, I wanted to make movies, but I wasn't really in the mode or in the right sense of resources to make movies, but I still loved movies and I wanted to talk about it, and this was like a way to do it and be creative about it. And it took us a little bit of a while, but like once we moved to our current location and we kind of figured out, we could definitely do this. This was like it just had to happen.
Yeah.
And
I'm just glad we committed to it.
Yeah.
And we made it.
I mean, I wouldn't, like, this wouldn't happen without you. And like, I know I've tried to do a podcast in the past with my other friends, with my other roommates, but that just didn't pan out. So like, it actually worked out with you. So
yeah.
I mean, here's to next year.
Yeah. We'll see you guys in February.
Yeah, we'll give a whole month of a break just so we could just like not
it
worry.
It might be like mid to late February. I don't know. But we'll get it back up and running in February. We'll try to have something special for the season premiere, and then just run through that year. See where it takes us. Well, thank you so very much for listening to our Best of 2025 episode. Be sure to follow us. Stay on top of it for next season. We'll be back soon, before you know it. And follow us on other platforms to stay up to date. We'll probably post some clips between now and then of this season that we haven't put out yet. So, yeah, I really don't think there's anything else I could say besides what I normally say, which is... yeah, thank you, and let us know what you think, and rate the podcast and everything, and also that I've been Peyton,
and I've been Adryon,
and we will see you next season on the Apple Box.